Listen to John and the Dog.
Well, I mean, I just now clicked on starting to record, so it just opened up with you saying that. Anyways, hello and welcome to the Evil Pig Podcast, the month in review for March 2021. Oh my goodness.
I guess I'm the dog now.
I am Jonathan Moore, the lead game designer. I am joined here today by apparently Dog.
The dog with an art brush.
The dog with an art brush, indeed. Oh my goodness.
Or Austin or Gil, as the other things I'm known as.
So today I actually, fun thing, before I went to go on stream, I actually worked with Ian a little bit on the code. And we're trying to figure out how to do a specific thing with the code.
Terminal velocity.
Yes, terminal velocity. That's the only thing that we're coding right now.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Well, now you do.
And now they know.
Two birds with one saying.
Two birds with one idiot.
Man, we were working on terminal velocity, and we're trying to figure out how to... Before, the player was colliding with the blocks, but then we changed it so that the code for the blocks could interact with other code, and now the collision is no longer working.
Which is a problem.
Yeah, so now we're having to... Ian has this idea. We're going to see how it works. I'm pretty sure... Hopefully it'll actually be good, and we don't have to go back to the drawing board afterwards. But he is going to try and make it so that everything is underneath one parent object that has the same physics as the blocks. To try and make it so that they're not floaty. That's another problem. Right now, they actually do have collision. It's just that they're floaty now. So we're trying to make them all uniform.
So before you had gotten it so whenever the player interacts with a block, it hits right. Then you changed it so those blocks would also interact with other blocks, I assume. And that's what meant.
No, it was mainly so that the blocks... Because technically, the player isn't moving. The only thing that's moving are the blocks and the enemies that are on the blocks. Or not on the blocks, depending on what enemy you're talking about. Anyways, so with health is how fast you're going, which is technically how fast the blocks are going. And whenever speed it reaches 0, it would mean that the player is destroyed. However, that would mean that you would need to have the blocks actually interact with the other code, which is the player script. So yeah.
Fancy.
Indeed.
What the fuck was that?
I can just... Oh my God. No, you know what? No. We're just gonna stick with what we have. Because I was just saying it out loud just now made me think. I mean, it's what we had before, but I didn't really like it. But maybe I should just deal with it, kind of. So So you know how I made I was just saying the obstacle script public. It was making it so that other code could interact with it. Before we had it so it wasn't public, so other code couldn't interact with it, but it could interact with other code.
It was a one-way system.
Yeah. So instead of making it so that that's public and it makes it so it's floaty, and then the fix to make it so it stops floating is to do this one thing, and then all of a sudden that makes it have no collision for some reason. Turn it back to static, so that way it could still interact with other code, and then make the player public, and just make it so that whenever the speed on the obstacle reaches 0, it interacts with the player's code and says that the player is just turned off.
That could work.
That's what we had before, and I didn't really like it because I like it I like the player to have its own code and its own system, and not have it so that it's. But
If I knew more about coding, I'd suggest a solution. But I don't.
we might just do that. We might just go back to how it was before.
Occam's razor, right? The simplest is it Occam's razor that's the simplest solution is most often the most correct solution?
Something like that.
Basically like, oh, does your stomach feel bad? It's probably because you didn't eat. Like,
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to go into more detail, like you remove all the things that it couldn't be, and you're left with the things that it is.
maybe?
That's basically. I feel like that's what Occam's razor is. But let me. Apparently, we're going on this whole thing. How do you even
We're
spell
Evil Pig. We did the research for you.
Occam's razor? A scientific and philosophical rule that entitles should not be multiplied necessarily, which is interpreted as requiring that the simplest or of competing theories as preferred to the more complex, or that explanations of unknown phenomena be sought first in terms of known quantities. What the heck?
Basically, keep it simple, stupid, as my dad says.
Yes.
The simplest solution. It's
Yeah, the simplest explanation is usually the right one.
Yes, the simplest. Yeah.
That also takes me back to last Thursdayism.
What does that mean?
That everything happened last Thursday.
Oh, don't fucking get started on this shit again.
What do you mean?
Don't you fucking dare.
Everything happened last Thursday.
We just have memories of it. Oh, I hate it so fucking much.
Yeah, because all of our memories happened everything happened last Thursday, and that's whenever our brain was created to have our memories of what happened.
I hate it so much.
What? It all happened last Thursday.
No. I refuse.
I'm gonna make my new my new company model based off of last Thursdayism.
I don't think that's smart, but okay.
Anyways,
how long have you been developing games? Since about last Thursday.
Yeah, last Thursday. Wow, you got all this stuff done last Thursday? Yeah, I know, crazy, right?
Yeah, I know, fucking wild.
It was crazy last Thursday. Anyways, technically tomorrow is gonna be the Thursday.
No, actually, it'll be the restart of the universe. Duh.
Well, no, it won't be the restart of the universe, because then last Thursday will have been technically tomorrow, which is going to be yesterday on Friday, which means that's whenever everything happens.
Right now that we're not just a memory, John.
I mean, all of this is just a memory. That's all it is. This is just a memory being downloaded into our brain for Thursday.
Baby's first existential crisis.
This isn't real, Gil. This is just a memory of what happened.
You know what's horrible? Is the thing is, I know right now we're talking, but if I go back and listen to this, and I hear it's just a memory, it will be true at the time, and I'll be like, whoa.
Well, you know, anytime you say this is just a memory, you're absolutely correct, because it's already happened.
This reminds me of how people say the easiest way to learn how to lucid dream is multiple times through the day. Like, you touch an object and you just say, I'm not dreaming right now. I'm not dreaming. That way, whenever you're finally dreaming, you'll be able to realize, wait a minute, no, this is a dream. Which I don't get how that works.
I always learned that the best way to lucid dream is to lie down
and do nothing.
Yeah, do nothing. If you feel like you need to scratch something, do not scratch it. Just let it be.
And the thing is, it's because you don't realize you're drifting off into sleep. Because normally when you drift off to sleep, you know, you move around, you shift a little bit, and then you slowly slip off, and then it's just...
Yeah.
Like, there are a few times where I definitely remember close to the moment I pass out. because I'll be listening to music or something, or like an episode of a podcast, and then I wake up and I'll scroll back through the podcast and I'm like, okay, this is the last thing I remember, and I fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
But like whenever I do that, I've had a podcast going and I've continued to listen to the podcast in my sleep because I remember weird stuff happening, but I'm still hearing the podcast, and it's like, whoa. For some reason, a lot of time when I do that, I end up in an Aztec or Mayan setting. I don't know why.
Okay. What kind of podcasts are you listening to?
No, just random, just normal comedy.
Okay.
Nothing to do with Aztec or Mayan culture.
Well, hold on a second. Aztec and Mayan culture, I would say that they were comedic at times.
That's not the aspects that I'm focusing on. It's more the architecture and also the vast tropical forest.
Yeah.
That are then in the middle of a city, and oftentimes I have
comedy.
web shoes. I don't know why.
It's comedy.
There was like a period last summer where for about 2 weeks, anytime I dreamt, I was back in the same city with like the Aztec style temples, and every single dream was a new day in the city, and it slowly was leading up to a massive flood that I was trying to save as many of my loved ones from.
Are you explaining the plot to Sonic Adventure?
What?
Or the Dreamcast?
What? I've never played Sonic Adventure.
That's the plot to Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast.
You're bullshitting me.
No, there's literally Aztec ruins that you go into, and you're preparing to save a city from a flood.
John, are you fucking with me like the one time I made my friend forget or say spoons didn't exist?
No, I am actually being legitimate with you.
What the fuck? That's kind of funny.
Was there perhaps a blue hedgehog with you?
No.
It was saying that we need to take down chaos.
No. Was I the blue hedgehog?
You may have been the blue hedgehog if you're trying to stop a flood, which technically is chaos.
Well, he's more of an amorphous water mass that happens to be a flood.
Yeah. I mean, you still flooded the city, and you also searched through Aztec ruins to figure out the secrets to it.
Or fresh water?
Do I think that chaos is fresh water or salty? I would think that chaos he's Wawa.
The gas station chain in the northern United States?
Yeah. No. Chaos is pure undefined water.
Pure undefined water. How do you know it's pure then?
It's so pure that it's undefined.
There's chaos inside of him.
No, that's just stuff that's in the water. The water itself that is chaos is pure undefined water.
How is he related to the chows?
He's carbonated.
He's a carbonated chow?
Yeah, he's a carbonated chow.
He's an effervescent chow. What are you not understanding?
I don't see the problem with this.
Oh wait, no, carbonated refers to having caffeine in it, right?
Carbonated refers to having carbonation in it.
Okay, so it is just effervescence then.
Yes.
I like that word. It's a fancy word.
You know what's better than saying effervescence?
Huh.
Carbonated. It's easy.
I thought you were going to say evanescence and start singing.
You know what? I should have. But yeah, no. Yeah, chaos is definitely just a carbonated chow. But actually going... Okay, so with chows, chaos was a chow.
Okay, so that's why they have similar head shapes.
Okay, now I'm going to have to stop you there. What the hell do you mean they have similar head shapes?
They both have water droplet heads.
What are you talking about? Chaos's head is completely different from a chow's head.
No, he's not. He still has a little spike.
Anyways, yes, chaos used to be a chow. You can actually make a chaos chow in Sonic Adventure 2. What did you send me?
I'm sending these for a visual reference. Look, they both have the water drop on top of their head. The teardrop shape.
Where do you even send it?
Huh? I sent it in the lounge.
Oh, okay then.
I wasn't gonna send it in anywhere else because it's not really relative to the other projects.
I mean, I guess. Now that I'm looking at Chaos as well, what is up with this weird brain thing? It's like a jewel.
Well, or it's just a brain. It looks like a brain. It doesn't look like a jewel. It's not translucent.
Well, okay, then whoop-de-doo. It's not translucent. It still has like it's got the the lines that make it look kind of like a jewel.
Hey, John, brains have lines.
Yes, I know that, but these lines are more like.
Oh,
Okay,
it's a fake transparent JPEG. I hate you, Google.
There. So now that actually looks like a brain, but the drawing itself looks like it's some kind of gem.
I think that's because of the art style, though, because they like to use solid colors.
Yeah.
Chaos is so weird.
Yeah, but I would shake his hand. I would shake his hand so I could get pure undefined water on me.
I bet it's salty.
Do you think that you could poke his brain?
With or without cutting him open? That's the question.
Without cutting him open. And also looking at him more on the non-transparent, transparent JPEG that you sent me. What?
He looks like Biollante from Godzilla.
I thought you said he looked like he'd buy a latte. And I was like, you know what? Maybe. He might buy a latte. He might go to the nearest Starbucks and buy a latte. Anyways, in the JPEG that you sent and everything. So in the artwork, it's all bubbles and everything. But in the JPEG, you can see that those are clearly bones. Like just like weird like circular bones. Why does he have 2 bones in the top of his head?
Oh, no. John, that's a leftover of when he was a Chow. See how the Chow has a little dot above his head?
Oh my god.
And how there's the bigger one? And then the other part is the remnant of the skull. How about that? Boom. And this is why you hired me as a biologist. I mean a monkey. I mean an architect.
Why is Ian asking who leaked my nudes with these pictures of chaos?
But John, do you see Biollante from Godzilla? That looks like...
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. He looks like he'd buy a latte from Starbucks.
God damn it.
I don't know how many times we have to be over this. He looks like he would buy a latte.
Guy.
He's a carbonated Chow.
Do you think if Chaos drank something, you'd be able to see it inside his body?
Yeah, I feel like you would. I feel like you would be like one of those
You'd be like, what, John?
So Primus Star has been going pretty well. We've
been
testing...
but it's not. Share with the class.
No. See, Primus Star has been going really well. Testing is going good. I like the testing so far.
I think we're finally getting the skills down a bit. I think this last revision with the replacement of skills, I think this is working the best so far.
So far, yeah.
Yeah. Also, the play testers are becoming a lot more familiar with the system at this point, so it's a lot easier for you to get data.
Yeah, but I need actual people who don't know as well.
Oh no, yeah. That's why it's like we need the new people after this fact.
Yeah. So yeah, testing has been going really well. I need to go throughout everything again and make sure everything is up to date with the new skills. Because I know yesterday, whenever I was going through additional rules, I saw that it was using some certain things were using skills that didn't even exist anymore. So
yeah,
need to fix
and
that.
There was the ruling on unarmed damage or whatever with the bonus, right?
Yeah, there was that whole thing. So speaking of that, I was looking at it and I was just like, wait a second. No, it means unarmed as in like whenever you're fully unarmed. You literally don't have anything. You are just fighting.
Not as in unarmed, as in brass knuckles and crap.
Yeah. It's
See,
technically
it's a problem that tabletops often encounter. Of you want to just because you don't want to overburden. You don't want to overburden with skills with weapon proficiencies, right?
Mhm.
So you don't want to be like, oh, I want to put a weapon proficiency for brass knuckles. But also, it doesn't necessarily fall in unarmed because how you fight with brass knuckles or other things that like coat your knuckles or add a little extra onto your hand that really changes how you fight. So one solution could be martial weapons or just fall them under improvised. But I don't think they fall under improvised
they
because
don't fall under improvised.
improvised.
It would be unarmed still, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep it with unarmed. It's just
it makes the most sense to keep it as unarmed.
with your fist itself.
Yeah, and just have it just have it add to the damage you do. Specifically if you're throwing a punch, not if you're kicking. That may just be a thing you have to communicate to the players more, or rather, the players communicate to you when they say they're attacking, and they're going to be like, okay, are they kicking or are you punching? What do you do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like how it's always assumed that if you say you're just attacking the enemy, it's assumed you're just attacking for center of mass. And if you want to make a called shot, which could be harder to hit or have a different effect, you have to be like, I'm aiming for the eye.
Yeah, we do have all that rule actually applied already. That's just accuracy. Aiming for a specific body part. Depending on how small the body part, it's the harder.
I really need to start pulling that off more with my new character that I do. Because I'm going to play it like old Fallout and always aim for the eyes.
Good luck with that.
That was the best strategy in old Fallout.
Whenever you say old Fallout, what do you mean?
1 and 2.
Okay.
Because in 3 New Vegas and 4, they only have the head option for VATS. While in the original they had eyes.
I don't even remember. I played through Fallout 1 and I don't remember being able to aim for the eyes.
You can for sure in 2, and I'm pretty sure you can in 1. It's just it has a much, much, much lower percentage. But if you're building the most, the way you want to deal the most damage in Fallout 1 is you build for high VATS accuracy, single shot, high crit weapons with bloody mess. And you blow people and they die.
I need to go and play through Fallout 2 to continue the legacy of Loose Swindle.
Whenever you do Fallout 2 on the streams, I would love to be there for it, a few things, because it is such a fun game.
I'm apparently going to be playing it based off of I can't remember his name, the guy that was joining in for the Fallout streams. But I'm going to have to continue the legacy of Loose Swindle, and it's going to be the granddaughter or great-granddaughter of Loose Swindle.
It's granddaughter.
Granddaughter, okay. So I'm going to be playing the granddaughter of Loose Swindle.
Or wait, no. It is great. It's the great-grandchild.
Gotcha.
I'm fairly certain because the elder of your village is the direct child of the chosen one.
Gotcha. Okay then. I don't even know what's going on in Fallout 2. I guess I'll find out whenever I actually play it.
Oh yeah, so it's
don't tell me.
Fallout 1, it's Vault Dweller. Then it's the Chosen One. Then it's oh God, what is it called in Fallout 3? The protagonist.
Oh, the
like the default name.
Yeah. I think they call you Vault Dweller.
Do they call you Vault Dweller? Well, then again, Vault Dweller is just a normal name to call people who are from vaults.
Let me see here real fast.
I like how
The Lone Wanderer. The Lone Wanderer is Fallout 3's.
Are you sure that's not 4?
No, that's Fallout 3. I'm looking at it right now. Fallout 3 is the Lone Wanderer. Fallout 4, let me see.
4 is Soul Survivor.
Yeah, Soul Survivor.
You're the Soul Survivor. Yeah, and then in New Vegas, you're the Courier.
Yep. Yeah, Fallout 1 protagonist is Vault Dweller.
It's
Fallout
really
2 protagonist is the Chosen One.
Wanderer 3. Because in 3, it's at least whenever I played 3, I oftentimes did not have a follower. Or at least for like maybe the first quarter of the game. Because the first follower option you have is locked behind Evil Karma. The guy who's the killer in Megaton. Or not the killer, he's a former bandit who has the adoptive daughter.
Yes.
But he's locked behind Evil Karma.
He's locked behind Evil Karma.
Yeah, you have to have to recruit him as a companion, you have to have Evil Karma.
Gotcha. Huh. I didn't even know that you... I never even... Thinking about whenever I play Fallout 3, I never really got companions. I just...
Exactly! Right?
So, I mean, yeah, I was the Lone Wanderer.
Told you. It's like, you don't think about it until after the fact, and you're like, wait a minute. Like, huh, neat.
I don't even remember, like, if I even had any companions at all whenever I played the game.
You never got, what's her name? Sergeant or whatever. She's the African-American lady in the Paladins. She said she knew your dad.
No.
Star Paladin Cross.
I don't think I had any followers whenever I played that game, ever.
Carrying loot must have sucked.
Yes. Typically, I wouldn't carry that much. I would just sell everything.
I had a problem of being a pack mule and only going back whenever I reached full inventory to sell everything.
Oh my god.
Hey, it's just like real life. I carry too much because I'm big.
No, I would just, anytime I would be in a town, I would sell everything that I didn't need.
I wish you could pick up fridges in Fallout and throw them at people. That'd be fun.
What? Okay.
What? It'd be fun.
Sure. Okay.
It'd be like Deus Ex.
I guess you can throw fridges in Deus Ex, yeah.
It's fun. The one Deus Ex game I've played, I did the first full playthrough I did non-lethal stealth, and boy howdy was it difficult. Well, relatively, simply because I'm not used to. My favorite game series is Kingdom Hearts. It's not exactly known for stealth.
Yeah, no, Kingdom Hearts is definitely not known for stealth. Nor is it known for being a story that you could really follow very well.
It's actually pretty simple to follow.
Okay, no, we're not going to get into this.
Oh boy!
All right. Let's go back to Primus Star. Huh? How about that?
A plot that also isn't easy to follow.
Honestly, there's not really a plot in Primus Star. There kind of is and everything, but that's all up to the person who's actually running the game.
Yeah, and if they take our plot hooks that we give them.
I guess there are a few plot hooks.
Well, there has to be a few things. Like, whenever you talk about big factions, you got to be like, well, how do they generally react to each other? That way you can have some more consistency when you build it later on. My favorite tabletop RPG does this. Rifts does this by basically giving you a few big events that have happened, but they leave the details of those events very vague, except for the conclusions of them. So if you want to be like, well, actually, my player character, their great-grandfather was a war hero in this event, and blah, 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 and they interact with these characters that we pre-statted out for them, but we left their personality to just generic evil or generic good.
This is just making me think of the Primus Star world anvil that we have that goes through the entire history of Primus Star.
Exactly. Like, that's the fun stuff. Like, you give them just a little bit. You give them boundaries to the sandbox, but you tell them, hey, if you want to go outside the lines, you can. Yeah, tabletop
Oh,
RPGs.
oh my gosh. I don't even know what the next thing I need to do on Primus Star is. I mean, well, I know what I need to do, a lot of stuff, but I don't know what,
What
like,
to do next?
yeah, what to do next.
What's the next starting point, basically?
Yeah, because I mean, I last time I was working on it, I was getting all the classes actually in the book
Which is important.
and long. It's taking a while. There's a lot of classes.
One thing the next thing that I would say, and this is as a player and as somebody who's done other things, what really helps right now the way the equipment's and the economy works, flesh that out a bit and make sure all of the credits for X things make sense, and then perhaps provide a little page to the GM saying what the average rate of like what describes a middle class citizen in
That's
premise
easy.
star.
That's easy. So for 2020, the way, because I actually made credits based off of the U.S. dollar and
Yeah, I
everything.
figured that.
Every 5 credits is $1.
That explains a lot more about like why a backpack is like 200 credits.
Yes.
That explains so much more. Because I saw that and I was like, mother trucker, this better fucking be a Jansport or something.
No, every 5 credits is $1.
So that means like what would an average engineer on a ship make? Let's just say they're transporting goods from one planet to another to be sold. Your basic ship. Like give if we were to give players that, or rather more specifically GMs, that could help them better determine how much they're going to give as rewards for things. You know?
Okay, so you're saying just a simple delivery job.
Yes.
Okay then.
And they're not even the deliverers. They just make sure that the ship doesn't break on the way there. Let's just
Oh,
like because that wouldn't their pay wouldn't depend on what's being transported. It's simply just
for a contract job, I would say more than likely something like 500, 750 credits.
and that would be a job that lasts like less than 3 days.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe even just a day.
Yeah.
Just
So if we were to give GMs a context of things, that way players don't feel as it gives you a better context of like, man, when am I ever going to be able to buy this cool item? I might as well just keep my starting weapons. Or what should I save up for? Like that kind of thing.
gotcha. So
Because
just
that's the
expound
big,
more on the economy of Primus Star.
yes, and a few more items, maybe adjust the prices of things. Also, maybe increase starting credit budgets, perhaps for basic equipment and things. Because remember, I made the character last night. So I rolled 2d6 times 100, that's my credits.
Hmm.
I got 400 credits, so I can buy like 3 things,
Yeah.
and that's not even including a starting but that's even less if I try to get a starting weapon, right?
Yeah.
So maybe work that around a little bit more that way, because like if I'm not able to afford a good enough starting weapon that I can't do other job, or then again that's up to the GMs, of course.
Yeah.
So just it's the little things that like that make the beginning the way that pay for the engineer, like the starting credits, that makes a lot more sense if it was like, okay, this is how much you're determined that if you had a contract job as an engineer, you're paid this amount per week. Almost in my head. But then again, that requires balancing and seeing how that with everything else. I don't know the price. I don't have the prices of all the items memorized. I don't remember how expensive a ship is. I think they're in the 10,000 credits range, right?
Somewhere around there. Typically, it
Yeah, which
depends on
makes
the kinds of
sense.
ship. The 10,000 credits, that's more of a capital ship.
Oh, so regular ships are only in the thousands of credits range?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we go back to this, I don't think a back. How much is a backpack? It's not actually like 200, is it?
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah. Because if it was, then that would be, a tenth of a ship. Just moving things more in that context of things, because that's the hardest thing is always balancing an economy. And whenever I've GM'd games and I haven't used exact stat blocks or prices of things because it's like a flea market and my players asked for a specific thing being there.
Yeah.
And that may once you build that up and then because since you have the classes, you then know what the typical jobs or what people do in the universe. So then you move on to your economy. Once you deal with the economy and everything, you can then look at adding more items to bolster that economy. And then you could also add more information about the trading companies and all that. Because you already have a lot of that. Like, just get a better flow to it, I guess.
Yeah. I'm actually looking at the equipment section right now to see.
Yeah.
I want to see how much the backpack is. Let me see. It is 25 credits. You thought it was 200 credits? You were way off.
What was I thinking of? That I think I may have been thinking of armor. I was probably thinking of some type of armor.
Yeah, I mean the tactical containment unit the backpack is just $5 essentially.
Yeah.
Which is technically that's a pretty cheap backpack, honestly.
That is a very cheap backpack. But then again, whenever have backpacks are already overpriced.
Yeah.
But they're overpriced because companies are only selling backpacks once every 6 months? Like when they move them in bulk for school, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's do some research into market trends of backpack now.
No, I am not going to do that. And let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the vehicles here real fast. So if every credit is every 5 credits is $1. Yeah. A simple vehicle is 500 credits. How much is that? That would be $100. It would be $100.
That's pretty.
That is a cheap vehicle.
That's a piece of shit. That's a piece of shit.
One might say that's the loner.
I could buy. So what you're saying is, whenever I worked as a teenager at McDonald's, I earned 1 car a day.
1 car a day, buddy. Ooh, boy.
That's like the price of a decent bicycle. $100.
All right. Well, see, now all I'm hearing is that prices for things need to be bumped up.
Maybe they should be increased. But so the way around this is we go for every single class, right? And you list out what they start with. Because that's what a lot of
doing that whole thing.
It makes sense.
The predetermined things that you start with. Okay.
Or instead of doing predetermined, say, hey, look, here's a list. You get to select 1 from this premium list of starting items, 3 from the mid, and 5 from the lower. Like maybe you do it like that. So I could
do a thing that they did in Shadowrun and made it so that there are different selections. Like you can choose your wealth, choose your.
I like that. There was one system I played that was a custom made system by some of the friends of mine, friends of college friends, and one of the ways it started was you started the game with a certain amount of AP points, and you could use those for other abilities and stuff for your character. Basically, build your character. They were allocation points. And you start, if you chose to be not wealthy but not poor, it was it cost 0. and you rolled the standard for whatever profession you picked. Then, if you took a minus and you said, "Oh no, you're on the lower side of money," you get more AP points to spend on something else. And if you chose to be dirt poor homeless, you're getting more action points. If you chose to be a little bit richer, you had to spend allocation points. If you chose to be filthy rich, Richie Rich is your manservant kind of rich, you had to spend a lot of AP points. But because of that, you weren't able to get as many skills, you weren't able to get as many feats. But that also came along with, a certain status in the world, kind of like the celebrity class that we have in Primus Star.
I really don't like whenever you say Primus Star.
What?
It's Primus. It's Primus.
Fuck! Did I do it again?
Yes, you did it again.
God damn it! Primus Star. Don't worry, I called Home Depot my entire life.
All right, let's go ahead and actually work on this whole thing. Think about it. While we're here. Hell yeah. Let's do this.
Did you roll a die?
Did I what?
It sounded like you rolled a die.
No, I just slapped my knees.
Oh, I thought you rolled a die. I was like, I don't think we should be making decisions with random dice.
No, I just slapped my knees. Don't worry about me.
I worry, John.
Don't call me Cotton Eye Joe.
Go.
What the hell is that?
Go. I've been saying a long time ago. It's Cotton Eye Joe.
Where'd it come from? Where'd it go? Where'd it come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Dig up, deep, dop.
I'm trying to let me see here. I want to insert a column. So what are our variables? How about that? We got wealth. We got. What if we actually made it so that seems very... Oh, I don't know about that, actually. I don't know.
I can't help if you don't explain a bit more.
I was gonna say skills, like the thing that determines your skill points. But no, I'm not gonna do that. That's
like the system I had set, like the system I had just talked about.
Yeah, but that would just
that is a overhaul.
That's complete overhaul, and I don't want to do that.
And that would change the way. That's a from the ground up change. That's a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna.
That's not what I intended with the one suggestion.
I just need something else. Wealth. Something that it essentially like it's a backstory thing. Like this is how you were with wealth. This is how you were with.
So here's a solution that Warhammer, if I remember correctly, it's Warhammer Fantasy did. There are certain backgrounds you can take where it's like, oh, you're a local hero. You spent time like that. I'd have to look up the system for it, but you can give a few. You could give a few options depending on. This would all be dependent on class. Also, you could have some racial exclusive ones. Like for the Geisling, a racial exclusive one would be Hive Worker. Like you take like it would say you have to take a minus in certain history skills because your entire world has been Geisling, but you know Geisling history really well and you get a bonus to these skills. But it would be something optional, like you could add a background element that you select before or that you select after you take your class. Or you could reverse the system and say you pick your race. Your race then determines which of these backgrounds you could have. And then those backgrounds can then lead you into X classes based on what you chose. But I prefer that you would pick your character's race, then you pick your class, and then background, because that's more freedom of movement, essentially. There are a few ways to go about it. This is something that's going to require a bit of brainstorming, and probably like more than just you're in my head. Maybe.
I'm thinking right now.
Like we could get Autumn, because Autumn has played quite a few tabletop RPGs that could help out. Probably Ian, because the coding mindset may help of the proper order of processes to go through.
I'm thinking.
And obviously, you don't want to just copy what other people have done. So
I'm thinking.
I know you're thinking, but we're doing a podcast still. We have to be entertaining.
Okay, then, yeah, but I'm also thinking.
You want me to riff? Am I riffing? Am I doing the strip club announcer from last night?
No, don't do that.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Why did you sound like that?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Royal Rumble. That's different.
I'm gonna save that right there. I'll go back to it and work on it. I feel like I can, because I can include this whole thing because I have this whole thing in Primus Star. It hasn't been implemented yet though, but it's there. It exists, and
if it hasn't been implemented, then it's not there yet. It will be.
Yeah, but it's there.
God damn it. Okay, sure.
All right, so it's essentially just physical attributes and mental attributes. Things like, I have a photographic memory. I have ADHD. I'm a savant. I am detail-oriented.
I was that last night when I was making my character. Yeah, the thing is, you're gonna have to choose what that affects. Like, say you have ADHD, you take a -2 to your concentration. Just a flat, you have to take a. If you choose ADHD, it gives you a -2 to your concentration. But let's say it gives you. It could just give you one extra mental skill and one history skill, like something like that. And like, if you want it to be more than just for flavor, you have to give it something solid and tangible behind it, or else there's no reason to include
Well,
it.
yeah, no. They're all going to have different actual mechanical values with it and everything. What I'm saying is it's one of the things. So you got wealth, and then maybe you got physical, and then maybe you got mental, and it's like your points that you can spend on your physical attributes, points that you can spend on your mental attributes. Then maybe there's going to be a fourth option, like relationships. Yeah, it's like how well or something, how good you are with the people that are in your backstory.
Like what your relationship to them is.
Yeah.
Whether they hate you, they're indifferent, whether they like. So, like, kind of what you would say, if we were to use an example, like New Vegas's reputation system, like that.
Sort of, I would say.
I'm just trying to find something that both me and our audience could click in their head to help them pivot to it.
It's really, I'm not totally sure. I just am thinking.
Well, it's what you want, but you don't know how to get there.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. That's fair. I mean, that's part of the process of development, right?
Yeah. I'll have to think about that. And of course, there are the mental and physical things that you can't choose. They just get randomly, depending.
Yeah, and that you have as a Rifts has done it, and I know Warhammer 40K does it a little bit. It has a random insanity chart that whenever you go through a traumatic experience, the GM will look through that list, and you can either have a phobia, a mania, or there's a something else. I don't remember what it is. Another type of disorder. Basically, you would roll a d6. 1 to 2 is this type. 3 to 4 is this type. 5 to 6 is this type. Then you would either roll on that random chart, or the GM would select based on, like, say you very specifically saw a cow or a bull. It shoved a horn through your loved one's chest. Instead of having you just roll randomly on the phobia table, and you could get the phobia of clowns, phobia of bulls, or more specifically of horns or farms in general. The only reason I bring that up is my character had a life-threatening event. He was shot through the chest because I forgot to put on armor before jumping at a sniper, and he was shot right through the fucking heart. But he was a crazy, so he regenerated. Don't worry about it. I had to roll on the random insanities table, because I was already a crazy character. Like, that's part of the class description, that they have a bunch of these mental disorders already due to the experiments performed on them. He said, okay, just roll on the random phobia table. It makes sense. I got fucking phobia of clowns. Out of all of the interesting things, there's hydrophobia. There's also the fear of fire. There's the fear of there was like the fear of certain days.
Okay, so you just said that you wouldn't do that, but now you're saying that you got shot in the chest and you got a phobia of clowns.
I'm saying the only reason I brought that one up specifically is because of this story, and the only reason we rolled randomly on the table was it didn't make sense for him to get a phobia of weapons. He's been trained and shot at before. It's just the near-death experience, because he died so much, and he's also a crazy person who has implants in his brain. The biochemistry is weird, so he got a phobia of clowns.
Okay.
It's also, in case somebody, there are a few spells in the games, or like, you can fight an eldritch deity that will cause a random phobia to appear, because they'll appear as whatever that phobia you rolled as. So that's also another reason why it's random.
Oh my God.
It's fun.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull up an Excel document, because my name is Jonathan and I like Excel for some reason. And I'm gonna look at this. So we got wealth. We got what should we call physical?
Physical?
Things, like attributes that you have.
Physical attributes.
Is there another word that we can use that's shorter?
Well, are they all physical disorders?
It's not really disorders. I mean, some are disorders and some
What
are.
saying? You can say physical traits. Phys traits. PHY traits. That work?
Okay, I can go with that.
And then mental, you can have MNT trait. Does that work?
Okay, then I can go with that. Let me think here. No. I'll be mental. Did you enjoy my little gasp there?
No.
You didn't like my gasp?
Nope.
How dare you? Trying to think. So
I said maybe.
3. That is just 3. Should there be 4 different things? What should be the 4th thing? I don't know if I should really do a relationship. Maybe I should.
Relationship disorders?
No. Actually, what if it's just renown?
That works.
Like how well you are known in the galaxy.
Yeah, it's rep.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, then.
So that'll be the next thing, that after we deal with the economy, that will be the next thing, because the economy will be easy to fix. No, that's a fuck I've ever heard one.
The economy is gonna be easy to fix.
Famous last words.
Thank you, Kanye. Very cool, very cool.
We're gonna have the best economy, I swear.
All right, so what would you say level 1 wealth would be? Like you are super wealthy. This is like you are rich. So if every 5 credits is one.
Do you know anything about One Piece?
I know that a man has rubber hands and he needs to stop wanting to be a pirate king because things are going wacky, you know?
So no. No. The answer is no.
Does he not have rubber hands?
His entire body's rubber.
So he has rubber hands. And what I'm hearing is he has rubber hands.
Anyway. There's a group in that series called the Celestial Dragons. They are so rich, they walk down the street. If they see yes, you will be my 15th wife. And people just have to go along with it or they're shot by the government.
So you're talking about the billionaires in the United States?
No, like trillionaires. Higher.
Okay, then Jeff Bezos.
Higher than Jeff Bezos.
That's inconceivable.
That's what they are.
2 Jeff Bezoses.
Jeff Bezos plus 1.
You have acquired Jeff Bezos a second time. Alright, so let's think here though for a second. 5 credits is $1. What would you say is basically pocket change for a rich person?
500,000 or 50,000 credits.
Okay, but how much is that in dollar? That's 500. No, that's 5,000.
That'd be 10,000. No, if whoopsie, I'm doing the conversion wrong. Sorry, then 10,000 is pocket change.
10,000 credits is pocket change.
They could easily go out and buy a big fuck off ship.
Okay, then whole second. How much is that in dollars? I need to.
That would be so each credit is $5, right?
Yeah, I'm getting it right now. So it's $2,000.
I would say no. Fuck it. Go higher. Go higher.
No, but I mean I can understand $2,000. But what are you saying? What are you suggesting for higher?
Like they can flippantly spend $50,000 in a day and not feel. They can spend $50,000 a day for a week and not care.
So $10,000.
10,000 credits.
Well, 10,000 credits was $2,000. What I'm saying is 50,000 credits is $10,000.
Okay, wait. Are we getting the confusion? I thought you said 1 credit in Primastar, $5 USD.
No, it's 5 credits in Primastar is $1 USD.
Okay, so it's the other way. Okay, then what I'm saying is, so yeah, then 50,000 credits.
Okay. So you start off the game with 50,000 credits if you're level 1 wealth. But that means that your other things are going to take in.
But that comes with also, you are a target.
you best believe it.
Or you could John, you could limit it to this. Only classes such as the celebrity can take this.
No. I'm gonna go with. Have you ever played Shadowrun?
No.
Okay, so in Shadowrun, it's essentially a chart, and there are different levels, and it's for each item on the chart is how many levels there are. And whenever you start out the game, you get to choose, okay, I'm level 1 in this, but that means my other stuff now they cannot be level 1. It has to be level 2, level 3, or level 4.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. So it's like you can choose level 1 wealth, but now you can't choose level 1 physical trait, level 1 mental trait, or level 1 renown. You have to choose.
And you could say a level 1 physical trait is literally +3 to all physical skills.
Oh no, it would just be it allows you to choose more of the physical traits that I have. I think that I haven't implemented yet, but yeah.
Okay. I thought you were going like it could be with the skills or what. Yeah.
No. Physical traits would be things like you can choose 20/20 vision, which is going to make it so that your sight is increased, as well as more than likely perception. So yeah.
Oh, I see. I feel like I would make 20/20 vision the base stat though, as it is typically, and then you have enhanced vision as the other ones to pick.
Okay, so you're saying that the physical trait that you can choose instead of 20/20 vision, it's 21/21 vision.
You could call it that, but you know what I mean. Because
I actually don't remember. There's actually a thing better than 20/20 vision. I can't remember what it is though.
It depends on the context, because 20/20 vision just describes how far away, and because remember your eye is a lens, so it's how far it can focus away and how short it can focus away. And 20/20 is just the best for like overall usage. At least that's what it's considered. Anyways, but this sounds like a big thing, but it'll be fun at least.
And okay then. Okay then. So actually, it would be. So what 20/20 means is you can see things 20 feet away. People can see 20 feet away. That's literally what it means.
Yeah, it's mid-range vision.
Yeah, but
you are neither.
What would be better? It would be 20 and then 1. Can you imagine things that you can, or things that normal people can only see 1 feet away?
Jesus.
It's just like laser focused.
Actually, you can make it fucking even worse. 101 vision.
Oh my god. What do you see with your elf eyes?
Oh wait, speaking of elves, did you know we're elves to dogs?
What?
We are elves to dogs.
Okay, explain.
From their perspective, we are incredibly long-lived, graceful, and mysterious creatures that still decide to make life bonds with them.
Unless your name is Jeff Bezos.
They do not understand our language, but they can learn a bit of it. They do not understand all of our culture, though they can try to participate in it. We are elves to dogs.
And to cats, we are ugly dwarves.
Yes, but still better than them.
Cats do not think so.
Well, I don't give a shit what my cat thinks. It can't open the can of food, can it? What you gonna do, Mr. No Thumbs?
Oh my
fucking God. Idiot. Ugh. Now I'm gonna go up and open I'm gonna put a can of food in front of my cat and be like, go ahead, open it. Go ahead.
Jerk.
Come on. I wouldn't do that. She's old. I actually haven't given her wet food in quite a while. She's mostly been on kibble her whole life. She's not really interested in human food either. Except tea. She drinks my goddamn sweet tea.
I've never heard of a cat drinking tea before.
If I leave a cup of sweet tea on my desk, because, I'm going to bed, but I got myself a cup of tea because we made sweet tea that night. So, I just have it left over from dinner or whatever, but I filled it up so it's close enough to the top for her to reach. I'll be fucking laying in bed, and then out of nowhere, I just hear that little, the lapping sound they make when they drink. and Angel's head is in my cup, and I'm like, you motherfucker. It's fucking annoying. Because the thing is, I'm not going to drink the tea afterwards, because her breath smells like, ugh.
Oh my god.
And I can't let her have more of it. Sweet tea obviously isn't good for cats. But she's just like, nah, this is mine now. The worst was I filled up a cup with milk. It was the last of the milk in the house, and I go upstairs. I put it down for 1 second while I'm getting her food, and I hear the fucking licking sound, and I'm like, you little fucking cunt. I swear to God. And I look back, and she has milk on her face, and I'm like, you can't even digest it.
Oh my god. Okay,
Yeah.
I think I
For
got
your random fact, our random fact for the podcast today, cats are actually lactose intolerant unless you've continued to give them milk since they were a kitten.
This is true. I know.
This is the same. The same is true of cows.
If you give them milk, then they just have little Hershey squirts.
Yep.
It's true.
Hershey squirts. Is that what's inside a Lindor chocolate ball?
Yeah. Little cat Hershey squirts.
Oh God! Imagine a white chocolate Hershey squirt.
Yeah. It's a bird. It's a bird's Hershey squirt.
Bird poop. Actually, that's from the ammonia that's in the bird poop. Because they don't piss. It's all excreted at the same time.
Yeah,
cloaca.
that's what makes the Lindor chocolate so good.
Why does every podcast evolve into just talking about shit of some kind?
I don't know. I blame you, honestly.
I'm not the one who brought it up this time.
You did kind of bring it up.
I brought up the fact they're lactose intolerant. You brought up the symptoms.
What would Renown do?
Better chance of already have a system that's in the game a little bit with the charisma checks and the additional rules, but I don't know if they're outdated or not. Just make it so that if you have good renown, your charisma checks against people are more likely to succeed. The more renowned you are, the more trusted you are. Or they know that you're intimidating. Or they're not able to, or they think they know your personality, so they don't really know when you're bluffing or not. Like, you could have it be that explanation. Or you could just literally just have it be on charisma checks. That kind of fun stuff.
I'm gonna have to.
This is going to be a lot of thought processing. This is going to be 10 hours plus, I'm going to say, total.
You think so?
I think so. Because this affects every other system in the game. This isn't simply just, oh, you start with more credits or not. If you choose to be an affluent bastard.
Yes, but no one knows me.
Exactly. Like, it's going to be, like, you have to have an explanation for it.
I inherited it from my rich grandfather.
That's also why I think it's better to have a list of starting items for characters instead of just starting wealth. Because if you just give someone starting wealth, it's assumed, so they're a 25-year-old, they're a scientist, but they have only the clothes on their back? You know what I mean? Like
Peter Parker.
He had other things.
Nah.
He had a wallet. He had a backpack.
Okay, then wowee.
He had the spider suit.
Yeah, he made the spider suit.
Yeah, with things that he had.
With things that he probably just found. And also took from the science lab that he was working at. He was taking stuff from the science lab!
That doesn't... What, you fucking think out of science lab they just have fucking spandex that are there? No, he definitely had to do some sewing.
Yeah, he has skill!
Yeah, but what do you sew with? A sewing machine. Where'd he get it?
From his aunt!
Oh, so he had an aunt. That's another thing he had.
No, but you can't buy an aunt!
On the Baron, you can.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's a special thing that Penny offers to her customers. The aunt treatment.
The aunt treatment. That's no.
You've heard of the girlfriend experience. Get ready for the aunt experience. It's not what you think. It's just judgment.
I don't like
it's
that.
It's just judgment.
It's just judgment? They just
it's
judge
just
you.
Saying, I thought you were in college.
Oh my god. Alright, where are we at right now? Oh, okay, I think it's time for the podcast to be done.
As for the update of what I'm doing, I'm still drawing the dock scene, and it's coming out fairly well.
How long have you been drawing the dock scene now?
Put into it?
Sure.
About total hours. Before I put in my hours for this week, 12.
Okay.
Because remember, last month I had to cut it short a little bit. So because of that, but I'm going to be doing more work because I want it. The biggest thing now, especially with the last update, I need to finish up those little cargo boxes and things that are to the left of the scene.
Yeah.
And draw on like the little filling stuff. And I still have to figure out the redesign for the Geisling ship that I wanted to draw.
Okay. Just remember Mad Max in space.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I could just add another ship that's the Geisling ship, and I could also just have that Hexagon ship.
Who is even piloting the Hexagon ship? What kind of ship is that?
It's a ship.
Wow. Sora's coming out of it with Donald and Goofy.
Oh my god, John. Can I? I'll fucking make it look like a gummy ship. I swear to God.
Sure. It's a human exiting the ship. Goofy is a dog, so make it a Fearin, and he's with a Shoe, which is a bird person.
Cool. These are very large ships, so they're gonna be tiny dots, essentially. As for a reference of the size of things, you see the thing I drew underneath the fuel canister?
Yeah.
That's meant to be like a normal, like little garage, like a little storage garage that you would walk in. That's probably like 10 feet tall.
Okay.
So people are gonna be tweeny.
A tweenie?
They're gonna be tweeny.
Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, I need to go and actually get something to eat. I haven't yet to eat anything today.
I have not eaten anything substantial. Oh, I had a double cheeseburger from Sonic, but it was only a quarter pound worth of meat, and it sucked.
All right, well, I haven't eaten anything. So... I need to go and eat something, and also drink something, because I haven't drinking anything either today.
That's definitely not good.
Yeah.
Chug a bottle of water. Well, whenever I realize I haven't drinking anything, I literally open a bottle of water, I chug the whole thing, and I'm just like, okay, I'm done.
I usually just swallow my spit a whole bunch.
Hey, bud?
Yeah.
That's not increasing the amount of water in your body.
What are you talking about? I'm swallowing the spit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Where does that spit come from, bud?
It comes from my mouth.
Which is? Your body.
No, my mouth is my mouth. Jeez, come on, Gil. I thought you were a biologist.
So much.
Guys, this has been the month in review for March 2021. If you're ever thirsty, don't forget to just swallow your spit. Actually, don't. Just actually go and drink water, please. Yes. Don't
worry, guys. Here at Evil Pig, we say, don't forget to swallow.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. You have been I'm about to do my stream exit. You've been a beautiful audience.
Thank you for putting up with us. We have been Evil Pig. Good night.
Next month. Oh my god. Oh.